Very good evening, everyone. How are you all? Everyone fine. Last class we almost completed India's 37. Any doubt till now? Whatever we have done, have you referred the questions? Have you referred the questions? In that questions, any doubt? Which question number? Question from other sources. Question number. Question number. बोलो. अरे. Come to question from other sources. Okay. You have doubt in other sources? Let me come to that. You have doubt in question number 22? 22? So one doubt came in question 22. However, this question I have taken from CA Inter exam. This question was asked in CA Inter, and I found this question interesting, and therefore I have taken. Means one thing is clear that CA Inter is more tougher than what CA Final. And believe me, what I think that CA Inter is actually more tougher than CA Final. I'll prove in many instances that they are asking good quality of question at CA Inter, and they are asking very simple quality of question, very, I will say, simple question at CA Final level. Okay? So let us take this question. An engineering goods company provide after sales warranty for 2 years to its customer. Based on past experience, the company has been following policy for making provision for warranty on the invoice amount on the remaining balance warranty period. So remaining balance warranty period, suppose they have given 2 year warranty period, so they are creating provision for remaining balance warranty period. Less than 1 year, 2% provision. If the balance warranty period is less than 1 year, then they are creating a provision of 2%. Now you will ask me, so why 2%? That we need to ask management. This is the best estimate. So we'll respect the information given in the question. And more than 1 year, it is 3%. The company has raised invoice dated 19 Jan 2011, 29 Jan 2012, 15th October 2012. Calculate a provision to be made for warranty under AS29. You can see AS29. This question I have taken from where? So we can say now in AS 37 only, because more or less they are same. Correct? As at 31st March 2012 and 31st March 2013, also compute the amount to be debited to PL account for the year ended 31st March 2013. Understood? Have you understood the question? Whenever this type of questions come, always draw a timeline to understand the question. Correct? So you can see they have given 3 dates. They have given how many dates? 3 dates. First date is which date? 19 Jan 2011. So 19 Jan 2011. So this will be 31st March 2011. The reporting date. Then it is 29 Jan 2012. So 29 Jan 2012 will come here. This will be the next reporting period. So this is the first year. This becomes second year. And the next date is 15th October. The 15th October will be somehow here, 15th October, and this is 31st March 2013. Correct? This is 12. So this is third year. Understood? It is 3 years. So whenever this type of questions come, first draw timeline. You need to understand which date is for which year. Correct? Now they have given invoice amount 40, 25, and 90. This is 40,000. This is 25,000, and this is 90,000. Okay? And they have asked you to create provision for 2 year ended, that is 31st March 2012. For this year, what will be the amount of provision, and for this year, what will be the amount of provision. So they have not asked about this, because they have not asked for first year. We are not supposed to think about the first year. Understood? We'll start from second year and third year only. Now for this year, can you say, because sales was done here, so can you see this is the warranty period which has been expired. So warranty period which has been expired, can you see it is more than 1 year? Means balance warranty period is less than 1 year. So can you say for 40,000 will create provision at an amount equal to 2%. At an amount equal to 2%. Correct? And for this you can see the warranty period expired is less than 1 year. Warranty period expired is less than 1 year. So unexpired period is what? More than 1 year. It means for this 25,000 you create provision at 3%. At 3%. Understood? So this will be what amount? 40,000, 2% how much? 8,000. 25,000 into 3% how much? Bolo? 7. 40,000, 2%, 800. 800 and 750. Total become how much? 1,550. So can you say as on 31st March 2012, we should create a provision of how much? 1,550. Understood? Now coming to the second year. Now for second year, can you say for these 40,000, can you say more than 2 year has been expired? Means the warranty period is totally expired. So for 40,000 will not create provision for the third year. Correct? But if I say this, so for this more than 1 year has been expired. So more than 1 year expired, so warranty period unexpired is less than 1 year. So now for this 25,000 will create provision at a rate equal to 2%. And for this 90,000, because less than 1 year has been expired, the balance period is what? More than 1 year. Therefore for this 90,000 will create a provision of for what? 3%. Now you say how much? 25,000 cut 2%, 500, and 90,000 cut 3%, how much? 2,700. Total is how much? 3,200. So this is the provision required for this year. How much provision created? So can I say this difference will be debited to PL? So last year how much provision you have created? 1550. This much how much provision required? 3,200. So how much provision will be created? The difference is what? 3,200 minus 1550. How much? 1,650. This will be charged to PL account of third year. So this will be charged to PL account of third year. Understood? So can you see, if you understand the question, then only you can react. So to understand the question, you need to give some time. So in exam, can you see, you can give solution only when you understand the question. So you need to respect the information given the question to draw timeline if you are not able to understand a particular question by reading. Got it? Yes, sir. Any more doubt? So one doubt came. That doubt came because of CA Inter. In my class, most of the time you will give wrong answer for the question which is based on CA Foundation and CA Inter. Because CA Foundation and CA Inter I have not done in your life now. In my class, most of the solution, most of the question where you are doing mistake, that will be based on CA Inter and CA Foundation. Are you getting what I am saying? For CA final, believe me, if you are concentrating in the class and you are listening with full concentration, you will have no doubt and you will give me correct answer only. Whatever I have done in the class, you will give me correct answer. So exam is based on CA final syllabus. Don't nothing to worry. Nothing to worry. But I hope you have understood this point. Any more doubt? No doubt. Now let us come to the last concept of this chapter, which I have not done. Only one point has been left, that is restructuring. This point is left. This point is left, restructuring. Now what is restructuring? That we need to understand first. Restructuring means any program which changes the scope of business. Which changes the scope of business without affecting the going concern of the entity. Means the scope of business will change without entering into liquidation. Without entering into the liquidation. And the scope of the business will change materially. Means it is not immaterial changes, it is material changes. So any program which changes materially the scope of the business will be known as restructuring. A simple example will be termination of one of the business. We suppose we have multiple business, means one entity have multiple business and we have decided to terminate one business. This is what restructuring. Or it can be sale of one division, termination of one division, or it can be shifting of one location to another location. So right now I am teaching in this location, so we may decide to change the location of our teaching. We may shift from this location to other location for better advantage, for better locational advantage. Correct now. Or we may decide to terminate this business and start a new business. Start a new business. For example, when COVID-19 came, so we decided to terminate our face-to-face classes and we need to restart. We need to start what? Recorded classes or live classes. That is also what? One type of restructuring. One type of restructuring. Now just try to understand. Suppose we have decided to restructure. We have decided to restructure. Now the question is that of course when there will be actual restructuring, so there will be some restructuring cost. So should we create a provision for restructuring cost when you have decided to restructure? Understood? Means let me take one example. So right now we are doing restructuring. We are doing restructuring. Correct? So what is the now? Just try to understand. Suppose this is 31st March 2023, and here we have decided to close down one factory. Understood? But can I say actual closure will take some time? Suppose after 2 years, actual close down happen. Actual close down will happen after 2 years. Quite possible. And when actual close down will happen, so we need to incur some restructuring cost. Restructuring cost. One of the example of restructuring cost that we need to pay compensation to the employee because they will be terminated. So we need to pay huge compensation to labor, etc. That can be one directly related cost of restructuring, or there can be some legal expenses, etc. Correct now. So we need to incur some restructuring cost. Now the question is that on this date, should we create a provision? Should we create a provision? Understood? Understood this case study? On 31st March, before 31st March, we have decided to close down one factory. And because of that decision, we need to incur some restructuring costs on actual closure. So right now on 31st March, should we create a provision for restructuring cost? What do you think? That's the question I'm asking to you. Don't remain silent. So should we create a provision for restructuring cost? What do you think? Yes or no? No. You are saying no. Why? No, no, no. Just try to understand. We have taken a decision to what? We have already decided to close down a factory. So of course there is a past event. There is a past event now. There is a past event. Are you able to understand? We have decided to close down the factory. So there is an event already occurred. Based on that event, there is some obligation for the expenditure which will be incurred on actual closure. Outcome is dependent on future event. But can I say right now there is a condition? So what I am saying that for this decision whatever we have taken, should we create a provision for restructuring cost? Yes or no? Yes or no? Why no? Huh? Bolo? Yeah, I am saying already we decided na. Before 31st March already we decided. Already board of director have taken a decision to close down the factory. Already there is a past event. Already there is a past event na. अरे बोलना yes or no? Already every just try to understand this actual closure means every time the event is always future only. But the condition is based on what? Past event. You have already taken what? What is the meaning of contingency? You have not understood. Contingency means condition which arises from past event, which exists on balance sheet date. Outcome of which is not known, which is dependent on uncertain future event. The outcome is dependent on uncertain future event. Means what will be the outflow, that will be dependent on uncertain future event. So of course, already there is a past event, the outcome of which dependent on what? Uncertain future event. That is contingencies. Not. Of course, there is a contingencies. So should we create a provision or not? Should we create a provision or not? Yes or no? So should we create a provision or not? Bolo yes or no? Either you say yes or no. So those who are saying no, whether your answer has been changed to no or not. Means if you are saying no, so now your answer become yes. Initially you were saying no, but now your answer become yes. Now let me give you some fact. Just try to understand. Correct. Suppose I decided to marry a girl. I decided to marry a girl. Should be whether it is finalized. No, no. I have decided to marry a girl. Whether it become final. No, it does not become final. Means only this decision will not trigger what? The creation of provision. You decided, but you may cancel it also. Can you say approval is required right now? Approval of other party is required. So I decided to marry a girl. It does not mean we'll start booking expenditure for my marriage. Means I will not start thinking about marriage expenditure right now. No. First, I will decide to she should accept. Then we should convince the parents also. So there's something is left. So can you say just try to understand everyone. If I have decided to marry a girl, you only think whether I will announce in the social media ki from single I become mingle. No, no, I will not change my status na. I will not change my status. From single I will not write mingle na. Are bola yes or no? Once I married, I have changed my what status, marital status I have changed. Ki now I am not single, I am mingle. Are you able to? But before marriage, I have written single only na. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Means after engagement also I have not changed. Engagement done, then also I have not changed. I was single only. Only after marriage, then only I change my status in Facebook that single, no more mingle now for future. So just try to understand. See, I have decided. It is not right now. I am not committed for that. So once I become committed, then only I will do some announcement. Then only I will do some announcement now. So what India 37 says that whether there is a commitment, if there is a commitment, so yes, we should create a provision. Means on 31st March, if the management is committed, if the management is what committed for this closure, then we should create provision for restructuring cost. Have you understood? Now, sir, how will understand there is a commitment? So, India 37 has given two conditions. India 37 has given two conditions which will give rise to that commitment. Means if that two conditions are satisfied, then only there is a constructive obligation for restructuring. Means what India 37 says that yes, we should create provision, yes, we should recognize provision if all the conditions are satisfied. All the conditions are satisfied with three conditions satisfied. Out of the three conditions, there is first condition, there must be present obligation arising from past event. So present obligation, this obligation can be legal obligation, this can be constructive obligation. Can this type of obligation will be always constructive obligation, it cannot be legal obligation. So what India 37 says that there can be constructive obligation only when two conditions are satisfied. So what are that two conditions that we need to understand? So that two condition will give rise, that two condition will be nothing but that will give rise to commitment of what? Management. Have you understood this point? And can I say once they are committed to close down the factory, then we can recognize the provision. So that we need to understand what are the two conditions. Have you understood this point? So what India 37 says, let us understand. Restructuring is a program which materially changes the scope of business. Correct? Without affecting what? Without affecting going concern assumption. GC assumption means what? GC means what? Going concern. Means just try to understand, if you have decided to liquidate, then it is not restructuring. If you have decided to liquidate, then it will affect going concern. If you have decided to liquidate or close down the entire entity, then it will affect going concern assumption. So this is not restructuring. Restructuring means you change the scope of business. So if you just want to close down one of your business, then it is restructuring. For example, right now I am teaching foundation, inter and final. If I decided to stop teaching only, then this is not restructuring. But if I say I will stop teaching foundation and continue inter and final, this will be restructuring. Have you understood what I am saying? Or if I want to teach some new subject, then this will be also restructuring. So any deletion or addition of the business will be what? Restructuring. If I want to close down one location, this will be restructuring. If you want to add one location, this will be restructuring. Means amalgamation is an example of what? Restructuring. Amalgamation means we are purchasing what? A business. So that is also restructuring. Are we able to understand? Yes, sir. So for example, sale of division. Division means one component, one business. Termination of divisions. Termination means what? Closing down without sale. We just close down the division. Closing of a business location or relocation. Closing of one location or relocating the business location. These are some example of restructuring. A provision for restructuring cost is required when the recognition criteria of provisions are satisfied. When I say recognition criteria, means three conditions are satisfied. Three conditions are satisfied. That three conditions we know. Correct. Now, after that, what India 37 says that a constructive obligation for restructuring arises when two conditions are satisfied. Means this will give rise to commitment. This will give rise to commitment now. Understood? So what is the first condition? That entity has a detailed formal plan of restructuring. Entity has a detailed formal plan of restructuring. So when I say detailed formal plan of restructuring, means can I say resolution has been passed in board of directors meeting? It means resolution has been passed. Have you understood? Means if you have decided until a resolution has not been passed in the board of directors meeting, or approval of shareholders required, until now shareholders has not done given approval, it means there is no commitment. Mere decision will not be commitment na. So a detailed formal plan of restructuring has been made. Entity has detailed formal plan of restructuring, and with this entity has started to implement such plan. An entity has taken some action to implement such plan. For example, they have decided to sell one division, so an entity has given some promotional advertisement in the newspaper. Correct now. So it means entity has started to implement such plan. Till now sale has not been done, but they have started to implement such plan, or or announce the main features of restructuring plan to those affected by it. If announcement done, means commitment is there. If announcement done, it means there is a commitment. Without commitment, they will not make any single announcement. Or made announcement to those person who are affected by it. Means has made announcement to the employee of that factory, has made announcement to the creditor of that factory, has made announcement to the shareholders of the company that we are going to what? Terminate that business. Understood? So entity has started to implement such plan, or announce the main features of restructuring to the person who are affected by it. If these two conditions are satisfied, it means what? It means there is a constructive obligation on reporting date, and therefore we can recognize the provision for restructuring cost. Correct. Now the question is that how to measure the amount of provision. Means what amount should be measured as provision. Means what are the costs which we need to consider for making the provision. What they are saying, a restructuring provision should include only the direct expenditure arising from restructuring, which are those that are necessary entailed by restructuring. Means can I say only we should get provision for those costs which are directly related to restructuring. Means which will be incurred only because of restructuring. Means if there is no restructuring, so that cost would have not been incurred. Means can I say ongoing expenditure should not be taken into consideration for restructuring cost, for creating a provision for restructuring cost, correct? And not associated with the ongoing activities of the entity. Means if you are paying salary to the employee for their services, for that expenditure we should not create any provision na, because that is related to what, ongoing expenditure. But if you are paying compensation to the employee because you are terminating the employee, that is directly related to restructuring, for that expenditure you will create what, provision. Have you understood this point? A restructuring provision does not include cost. The provisional amount should not include the following. So we should not include any retraining or relocating continuing staff, any retraining expenditure or relocating expenses of the staff should not be taken into consideration. Marketing expenses should not be taken into consideration. Investment in new system and distribution network, if you are investing in new system, so that should not be taken into consideration. So this provision should not include following costs. But why the provision should not include these expenses: retraining expenses, relocating expenses, marketing expenses, or investment in new system, etc. Why? Well, very good. Can you see these expenditure relate to the future conduct of business? Correct now. 100% correct means you have understood the last example what we have done in class. Correct now. It means, can I say, once you are concentrating in my class, you can answer all the questions. Are you able to understand? So can I say why it will not be included? Because these expenditure are related to the future conduct of business. These are dependent on future conduct of business. Can I say retraining? We may decided not to train. It is dependent on future conduct of business, whether to train or not to train, whether to relocate or not to relocate. Understood? Now, future operating loss. Just try to understand. Once you have taken decision, means यहाँ पे you have taken decision now. Means from 31st March to this year actual closure, can you see there can be some future operating loss? So should we create any provision for future operating loss? No, we should not create any provision for future operating loss unless the contract are onerous. Unless the contract is onerous. Understood? Means there is some onerous contract. So for onerous contract, of course, we should create a provision. So that clarification has been given. What clarification? If future operating loss up to the date of restructuring are not included in provision unless they are related to a onerous contract. Understood? Have you understood? From my point of view, this restructuring is very important from examination point of view. If I want to create a question, I will create a question from restructuring. Got it? Have you understood this point? Simple. With this, we completed India's 37. The balance point, the scope, disclosure already done in the last class. Only one point was left. I hope you have understood restructuring. Let me take one question. A very good question of restructuring given in the ICI study material. This question. Question 17. Write down question 17 beside restructuring. Means you should always refer a question number. Correct now. So write down for this particular, we are doing which question? Question number 17. 17 na? 17. Always give reference. Whenever I am doing one concept, for that concept, if I am taking some questions, so write down that question number beside the concept. Why? Because it will help you at the time of revision. When you are doing restructuring, just revise that question. So it will give a understanding whether you have understood the concept or not. Are you getting? So immediately after this concept, if you are doing question number 17, it will give confidence. Na? Have you understood? So whatever question I am doing, just give a reference. So even though I am not saying, it will be your duty to write down. It might happen with the flow of chapter I am forgetting to inform you. Got it? Yes, sir. So question 17. U Limited is a large conglomerate with a number of subsidiaries. Just try to understand. Now for a parent company, we prepare consolidated financial statement as well as separate financial statement. Now as per India's CFS is mandatory, and we prepare SFS in addition to what? CFS. SFS means what? Separate financial statement. CFS means what? Consolidated financial statement. So separate financial statement is prepared in addition to what? Consolidated financial statement. As per India's, not as per Companies Act. As per Companies Act, both are mandatory. Separate financial statement is also mandatory, and consolidated financial statement is also mandatory. Means can you say India's has been designed from consolidation point of view or separate financial statement point of view? Consolidation point of view. Means can I say this India's 37 will be applicable to both CFS and SFS? When I am saying India's 37 will be applicable to CFS, so in that CFS, entire group company will be one single entity. So we'll consider entire group entity as one single entity and apply India's 37 on that. Means can I say P Limited, S Limited, S Limited. So all will become one entity in that group. Have you understood? Yes, sir. It is preparing consolidated financial statement as on 31st March 2018 as per the notified Indias. The financial statement are due to be authorized for issue on 15th May 2018. It means can I say 15th May 2018 is the date of approval of financial. Now you know AS4. AS4 event occurring after balance sheet date. AS4 you remember? Huh? When I am saying AS4 you are thinking AS4 तो you know na? First smiling face. Smiling face. Even though you don't know, smile. Okay. Correct? AS4 you know? Adjusting event, non-adjusting event, adjusting event, adjust, non-adjusting event, do not adjust. Remember? So can you see? It means this question is in combination with India's 10. India's 10 is nothing but AS4. Because you know AS4, we can answer it. And if you forgotten, I am there to help you. I am there to help you now. Yes, sir. It is seeking your assistance for some transactions that have taken place in some of its subsidiary during the year. G Limited is a wholly owned subsidiary of U Limited engaged in the management consultancy services. On 31st Jan 2018, on 31st Jan 2018, whenever a lot of dates are given now, so I will request you to draw a timeline. Means I am requesting you to draw what? Timeline. Can you see you can draw timeline by your own? Correct now. I can help you to, for few classes I will help you. But if you draw timeline by your own, it will help you also. Correct? So you can see a lot of dates are given now. So reporting date is 31st March 2018. Date of approval is 15th May 2018. And on 31st Jan 2018, something they have decided. See date till now given. You have started? Can we proceed? So on 31st Jan 2018, the board of directors of U Limited decided to decided to discontinue the business of G Limited from 30th April 2018. So this is the actual closing date. 30th April 2018 actual closing date. Actual discontinued date means on 30th April actual closure will happen. They made a public announcement of their decision on 15th May 2018. So on 15th May 2018, public announcement has been done. G Limited does not have many assets or liability, and it is estimated that the outstanding trade receivable and payable would be settled by 31st May 2018. Yes, settlement of trade receivable and payable is an ongoing activity. So this should not be considered for provision for restructuring cost. Means when you are settling trade receivable and trade payable, that is related to ongoing activities now. Correct. U Limited would collect any amount still owed by G Limited customer after 31st May 2018. It is also related to ongoing activities. They have offered the employee of G Limited termination payment or an alternative employment opportunities. Okay, sir. Following are the sum of details relating to G Limited. On the date of public announcement, on the date of public announcement means which date? 15 Feb 2018, na? 15 Feb 2018. It is estimated that G Limited, it is estimated by G Limited that it would have to pay 540 lakh as termination payment to employee, and the cost of relocation of employee would remain with the group would be 60 lakh. Means some of the employee will be terminated and some of the employee will be relocated within group only, and the cost of relocation estimated is how much? 60 lakh. The actual termination payment totaling rupees 520 lakh were made on 15th May 2018. 15th May 2018 is the date of approval. So actual termination cost happened on that date. As per the latest estimate made on 15th May 2018, the total relocation cost is 63 lakh. Have you understood? You can see the size of the question. Means when you will come to this now, what will happen in exam? Is you one para, two para, three para, four para, two para are left. In exam, normally what happen? A big questions. Normally what happen? After reading few para, you will be distracted. You'll be distracted. Means your mind will be deviated, and you'll go to some other place. Means you are reading. Achanak se you went to what? 2 years back. That is happened. What will happen now? And achanak se you've forgotten everything. And therefore, a timeline is very important. Whatever you are drawing, are you getting? Suppose you are distracted, so now you can immediately understand from that timeline whatever you have done. And that timeline is very important. Whatever you are drawing, and believe me, it will happen in exam. It will not only happen with you, it has happened with me also. Because of exam pressure. Are you able to understand? Chalo. G Limited has taken a property on operating lease. Correct now. Operating lease, which was this parana to delete. Actually, what happened when this question was asked, when this question was drafted, that time there was India 17. But now India 17 has been modified to India's 116. And because of India's 116, this para become irrelevant. So now when this question will come, so of course this para will not be there. Understood? We just delete this para. Correct? The para deleted. Have you understood this point? Correct. The loss after tax of G Limited for the year ended 31st March 2018 was 400 lakh. G Limited made a further operating losses totaling rupees 60 lakh till 30th April 2018. How would U Limited present a decision to discontinue the business of G Limited in CFS in consolidated statement of comprehensive income as per India's statement of comprehensive income? But in India we call it statement of comprehensive income, ki statement of profit and loss. We call it statement of profit and loss, but it means this question has been taken from international book. It means this question has been taken from international book. Suppose in exam the same question come and they have written statement of comprehensive income. Correct now. You can modify statement of comprehensive income to statement of profit and loss, because in India we don't statement of comprehensive income, but in exam, from my point of view, they will say statement of PL only. Understood? Correct? So don't be misunderstood ki why they have written statement of comprehensive income. Okay, but forgive them. Will forgive them. Will forgive what? I say na. I will say wrong question na. It is not statement of comprehensive income. It is a statement of profit and loss in India. Okay? What are the provision that a company is required to make as per India's 37? Have you understood the entire question? So can you help me in drawing timeline? So we are doing question number 17. First date is what? Date of decision is what? 31st Jan. So 31st Jan 2018. What is the reporting date? 31st March 2018. What is the announcement date? 15 Feb 2018. What is the actual closure date? 38 April 2018. What is the date of approval? 15th May 2018. Correct. This is the previous current year, and this is the future year. Right now we are standing as on this date. The first point, should we create a restructuring provision? Yes. Why? Because can I say there is a constructive obligation on 31st March? Why? Because two conditions has been satisfied as on this date. Entity has made detailed formal plan for restructuring, and entity has also made announcement for the main features of restructuring to the person who are affected by it, and therefore there is a constructive obligation on 31st March, and therefore provision for restructuring cost should be created. Now they have given one termination cost. So how much estimated on this date? How much estimated on this date? Well, 520 lakhs. And what was the actual cost on this date? 540 lakhs. Actual is 540 and 520. Reverse हो गया. This is 540 na. 540 and 520. Now correct. Then there is a relocation cost. Relocation cost. How much estimated? 60, and once again estimated how much? 63 lakh as on this date. Then what they have said? Current year operating loss is how much? Current year operating loss is how much? 400 lakh. This is 400 lakh operating loss. And also how much loss up to the date of actual closure? It is 60 lakh. Means they have already made this loss. Correct? Understood. These are the entire question. Now on this date, we should think about what? Provision. First point, should we create any provision for termination cost? Yes or no? Should we create any provision for termination cost? Yes or no? So yes or no? Yes. Yes. Which amount? 540 ki 520? 540 ki 520? Means you need to also give answer with reference to AS4. AS4 means Ind AS 10. Ind AS 10 we have not yet done. So whatever you know about AS4, so बताओ, we should create a provision on 31st March based on 540 ki 520? 520 or 540? Well, first, so it should be 520 only. Means because the actual happening has been done before approval of financial statement, therefore it become adjusting event, and because it become adjusting event, therefore we should create provision based on 540 lakh. So yes, 520 lakh, and this will be the amount of provision. Understood? Second, should we create any provision for relocation cost? Should we create any provision for relocation cost? No. Very good. Excellent. Means you have understood, because it depends upon future conduct of business. Excellent. Should we create any provision for future operating loss? No. Excellent. We should not create any provision for future operating loss unless the contract is onerous. It means what will be the amount of provision? 520 lakhs. The amount of provision will be 520 lakhs. Only 520 lakhs. No? Minus what? 520 includes what? No, no. Where is it written? It's termination cost only. They have not, it is inclusive. Where they have written? The actual termination payment totaling rupees 520 lakh were made in full on 15 May 2018 as per latest. This is the separate line. 520 lakh is only what? Termination cost. Okay. So you can see they have given the similar type of answer. You can read it, and at the end it is what? This you delete, because that para is deleted. Now this para also you delete. This para also you delete. Means your answer will be what? How much? 520. Understood. Yeah, I have deleted this. How it came, I don't know. I think I have not saved the file. I've deleted this para, but how it came, I also don't know. But I hope you have understood. चलेगा. Let me take one more question to understand, means to give some confidence. To give you some confidence, can I take one good question? So this question you do by your own. Question 27. Okay, but this requires some reference of India's 10. So can you do this after India's 10? However, we can understand right now also because you know AS4. Correct? What I can do right now also, but I will take one more question where doubt may come. Is that question? This question. A good question was given in RTP. Let us read. XYZ Limited offer a 6-month warranty on its small and medium size equipment which can be put to use by the customer with no installation support. The 6-month warranty. Okay. The warranty comes with the equipment and the customer cannot purchase it separately. The warranty comes with the equipment and customer cannot purchase this warranty separately. Now there are some warranty which will be also covered in Ind AS 115. So this particular sentence now, this particular sentence, are you getting? This particular sentence you will understand when I will do Ind AS 115. However, even though you have not understood, it will not affect your solution. Are you getting? Because the answer is based on Ind AS 37, not based on Ind AS 115. Are you able to understand what I am saying? So this actually this sentence you will understand when you do what? Refer Ind AS 115. Even though you are not understanding, you will be able to answer it because there is no reference of this particular para in this question. There is no reference. The reference of Ind AS 115 not required for solution. Correct? The equipment is typically sold at a gross margin of 40%. XYZ has made a provision of 30,000 during the year ended 31st March 2002. Already they created a provision of 30,000, which is approximately 1% of gross margin on the sale of these equipment. Means this 1% of gross margin, and gross margin is 40% of sales. Gross margin is gross profit is 40% of sales. Yes, sir. Based on past experience, it is expected that 1% of equipment sold have been returned as faulty within the warranty period. Means as per past experience, 1% of units sold will be returned. Faulty equipment returned to XYZ Limited during the warranty period is scrapped and the sale value is fully refunded to customer. So that will be scrapped and the entire sale value will be refunded. Entire sale value will be refunded. Means can I say the amount of provisions should be the equal to say sales value only? Assuming that sales occurred evenly during the year. So one assumption we have taken that monthly sales are equal. How should XYZ Limited evaluate whether any additional warranty provision required on equipment sold in the past as at 31st March 2002? So whether any additional provision is required based on that return, based on that return or refund. Had the warranty period be 2 years instead of 6 months? Well, if warranty period is 2 years instead of 6 months, whether your answer will change. What additional criteria would XYZ Limited need to consider? So of course, can I say when it becomes 2 years, the time value of money is matter here. When the time value of money is matter here, then discounting should be done. When this criteria will be because 6 months time value of money may not be matter here. Then for that we will not do any discounting. Understood? So I am just coming to the solution. Correct. So you can understand this para. I am directly coming to the solution. So they said gross margin is 40%. 40%. So 40% is the gross margin. Correct. And they have given what the provision is what 30,000, which is 1% of gross margin. So what is the gross margin? The gross margin will be how much? 30 lakh. Gross margin will be 30 lakh. बोलना yes or no? If provision is 1% of gross margin, understood? So if provision is equal to 1% of gross margin. Understood? And this is 30,000. 30,000 is 1% of gross margin. So what is gross margin? You'll do 30,000 divided by 1%, that is 30 lakh. And gross margin is 40% of sales. What is sales? 30 lakh divided by 40%. How much? 75 lakh. So you can see 75 lakh is the annual sale. 75 lakh is annual sale. Can you say for the first 6 months, whatever sale has been done, warranty period expired. For the first 6 months, whatever sale has been done, warranty period expired. Means for the first 6 months, whatever sale has been done, no provision is required. Means provision is required for last 6 months because for that warranty period is not yet expired. And last 6 months the sales will be what? Half of 75 lakh. That is 37 lakh 50,000. 37 lakh 50,000. Now they are saying out of total units sold, 1% will be returned. So 1% of 37 lakh 50,000, how much? So 1% percentage expected return is 37,500, and that will be entirely refunded. Means you should create a provision amount equal to what? 37,500. How much already created? 30,000. So how much additional required? 7,500. Understood? 7,500. This you understood? Correct. And can you see, because it is 6 month time value money is not matter here, so discounting is not required. You can give this also as a note. But now let us come to the 2 year when the warranty period is 2 years. Now when the warranty period is 2 years, so entire 1 year the warranty period is not expired. Means now you will consider 75 lakh. You can see now they have taken 75 lakh into consideration. So 75 lakh ka 1% how much? That is 75,000. 75,000. Out of that 75,000, how much provision already created? So you should create additional provision of 45,000. However, they have written also that because now it become what? 2 year, that the amount of provision shall be what? Present value of the expenditure expected to require to settle the warranty obligation. But because the discount rate is not given, so you can't do discounting. You can't do the discounting. But can you see they have given a reference of what? Present value. Understood? Good question. I like this question personally. I like this question personally. And whenever questions they have asked in RTP and that question is not yet asked in exam, this become important. All RTP questions are important which are newly created. Normally, what is the trend I will say from examination point of view? See, either they will ask a question which is in ICA study material. But if they want to ask a new question, first they will give new question RTP or MTP. RTP means what? Revision test paper. MTP means what? Model test paper. So either they will give that question in RTP or MTP before your exam for any attempt. So that new question become important from examination point of view. So they will not directly ask new question in exam as per the past trend. I don't know what they will do in new scheme, this scheme. But as per the old scheme, this was the trend. Now to understand the trend of new scheme, 3 exams should be conducted. But can I say we can make our judgment based on past experience only. So what is the trend in exam for the question? See, whenever they want to ask a new question, first they will give a RTP, MTP, and this question is not yet asked. So this become important from exam point of view. So this is important. Write on MRQ. MRQ means what? MRQ means must revise question before exam. Now there are some question which I will identify. This is MRQ. MRQ means what? Must revise question before exam. Must revise question before exam means what? Immediately 4 hours before exam. Means the last day normally what happen? 3-4 hours will have a spare because this is the first paper. Already 4 days you have spent, so you will have some. You need to leave some hours for this last hour revision. In this last hour revision, do only MRQ question. So some MRQ question I will identify. Some MRQ question you need to identify when you are doing revision. Means it's quite possible you are doing some question, you find that yes, this question is interesting, which I have not identified. But from your point of view, it can be what a good question that should be also identified as MRQ and should be revised before exam. Normally what happen? What is this MRQ question? If there are some question which if you do before exam and if same to same questions come in exam, can you see it will take less time? You can save time and you'll do 100% correct. But if you have done 1 month before this question, can you say in exam it might not be click. Even though click, you will take some more time to write. That's what. This is the smart study. Call it smart study. There are some questions which may also come in exam. Means I'm not saying it is expected. I'm not saying this question is expected. But there are some questions which is expected, but that does not require immediate revision before exam. That can be answered without revision. So that I will not identify as MRQ. Means normally in my teaching, I'll give you some expected question and some MRQ question. Expected question which may come in exam from my point of view. MRQ question which may or may not come, but it should be revised before exam. Understood? Have you understood? I'm just informing about my teaching style. So that also you should know now. You are reading from me for the first time. When I'm writing MRQ, you should know the importance of MRQ. Correct? So initially I'll be through slow. I'm very slow. Dekho, I'm in India 37 only. It requires normally 1 day. But I'm just giving you time to become familiar with me. To become familiar with me. Now all other question you can do it by your own. Can you do all other question by your own? Correct? I'll just give you some question you need to do it. Means after completion, what I will do? I'll give you some question for reference. That much do you do. You can do more than that. But whatever I have given, that much do you do and come. One question already I have given question number 27. Question 27. Then write down question 23. 23. Write down somewhere question 23. Question 19. Question 12. Back. Balance you can do it by your own. Okay. Question 1 also if you want to do. The question you just do it. Normally what happen? Why I'm saying you do it? Because normally when I will do, you will think it is very easy question. Because whatever I will do, you will understand. Na? So doubt will come when you will do. The same question if I will do, you will think, are very easy. But the same question when you will do, there may be lot of doubt. So I want that you do, you create doubt, then it become interesting. Na? So first we need to identify what is the doubt. Correct? Whatever question I have given, that much you do. However, you can do more than that also. Got it what I am saying? Understood. So from my point of view, this chapter has been completed. From my point of view, this chapter has been completed. Not from your point of view, huh? So when a chapter is completed, it is not yet done by you, huh? So don't think you have understood. One revision is required to understand that chapter from examination point of view. But can we start a new chapter? The next chapter will be what? The next chapter will be Ind AS 10. Already I have said I will do Ind AS 10. Correct? Come to Ind AS 10. Next chapter. Ind AS 10. The name I hope you have understood. Event after reporting date. Corresponding AS is AS4. AS4 is what? Contingencies, an event occurring after balance sheet date. Means in this chapter only we are discussing about event occurring after balance sheet date. Already I have informed you that now under India's balance sheet date will be replaced by reporting date. And reporting date is a more accurate term. So event after reporting date. So can you see this? You can see this timeline. What this timeline says? This is our current reporting period. The reporting period, correct? So this become reporting date, and this is a date of approval of financial statement. Understood? So any event which occur what? After reporting date but before approval of financial statement will be covered in this chapter. Means what is the scope of this chapter? Any event which occur after reporting date but before approval of financial statement. Means any event which occur after approval of financial statement is not relevant for this chapter, that is outside the scope of this chapter, means Ind AS 10 is not applicable. Now can you see this is the only one AS which we have understood completely in CA Inter? Am I right or not? Means there are many other Ind AS also which you have understood in CA Inter level, but this is one AS4 which was very comfortable. You are very comfortable with AS4? बोलना, yes or no? Achha, have you done AS or not? Or you have left it? In CA Inter, Group 1 20 marks question from AS. Group 2 also 25 marks, means more or less 45 marks question from AS. And sometime question in audit also they ask from AS only. So it means the coverage is 50 to 60 marks. So have you done AS or some student leave also? How many of you left AS? You have done now. So I'm asking something. Is out of all AS4 was comfortable or not? Means I know, what you don't know. So AS4 was one accounting standard which you were confident, yes, any questions come you will be able to answer. नहीं नहीं. Adjusting event, non-adjusting. Adjusting event will be adjusted, non-adjusting event will not be adjusted. Khatam. Correct. But let me come to the concept. First question, what will be a doubt from a student point of view? Can you see these are the events which are occurring after balance sheet date or reporting date? Now in our Bachpan means CA foundation. We have done one concept, periodicity concept. And as per periodicity concept, your teacher might have said that all the transaction which has been occurred during a particular period, means during this financial year, should be only recorded. Means any transaction event which occur after this financial year should not be recorded in this financial year. This concept only you have done now. Means any transaction or any event which occurred during this financial year should be recorded in this financial year. Any transaction or any event which occur during this financial year should not be recorded in this financial year. Now what this chapter says, any event which occur after reporting date can be adjusted in current financial year. My question to you all, whether it is a violation of periodicity concept, whether it is a violation of periodicity concept. Have you understood? Have you understood my emotions? If you will not understand my emotion, you will get emotions where? In exam hall. Correct? So whatever you have understood, you need to react. Have you understood my question first? So whether this AS4, right now I'm in CA Inter. From CA Inter, I'll come to CA Final. So my question to you are whether this AS4 was a violation of periodicity concept. Yes or no? Yes or no? No or yes? How many are saying yes? How many are saying no? It is not a violation of periodicity concept. Who will explain why it is not a violation? No, no, no. Material not. Just try to understand. Material, immaterial, that is not important. What periodicity concept says. I am not saying about materiality, immaterial. My question to you all, what you have done in Bachpan CA Foundation. In CA Foundation, you have done one concept, periodicity concept. As per that periodicity concept, any transaction event for a particular financial year should be recorded in that financial year. Means any transaction event which do not relate to that financial year should not be recorded in that financial year. That only you have done now. So this event occur in which financial year? In the next financial year. So if you are saying it is an adjusting to you are adjusting in current financial year. So whether it is a violation of periodicity concept, that I am asking. I'm not asking what you should do, what you should not do, because you have done AS4, so you should know that yes, it should be adjusted. I'm not asking that. I'm asking that before teaching AS4, so I should come to this point now. बोलना yes or no? Please just try to understand. Level is totally different. You will never expect what I can teach. But can you see, you are right now, it's a final level. So I need to give you the entire understanding now. Because this is the last time you are taking coaching. After becoming CA, so you will not take coaching class now. So I should give the entire knowledge to you. So my question to you all, whether it is a violation of periodicity concept. How many are saying yes now? How many are saying no? Still no. Is yes, no both? Either yes or no. Dekho, please. You can't sit silent. Can't sit silent. Either say yes or no. Or if you are silent, I will say then why you are in class. Simple na. Either yes or no. And from my point of view, if you pass the inter exam, you can answer any question. It can be wrong, but you can answer or not. So wrong or yes, wrong or correct, I will decide. You don't decide that you are wrong. If you are writing in exam, you don't decide whether it's wrong or correct. Who will decide? Examiner. The paper check. Paper evaluator. Correct. 1 second. 1 second. Dekho, initially I am asking this much. After some class, I will not ask only. I will not ask because if you are not interested, I am also not interested. Are you able to understand? Initially, I am asking so many questions, but if you will not answer, I will be demotivated. Na? If I will be demotivated, next time I will not ask questions. So better you give answer to motivate me. Are you able to understand? Please respond because this is the way to learn. 1 second. So whether my question I will forget it. Question was whether AS4 is a violation of periodicity concept, yes or no? How many are saying no? Everyone saying yes? No? So much time you are taking to say no only. Correct na? Why no? Once again? Means I will say your answer is 70% correct. Your answer is 70% correct. Means when you speak, then only you are informing other that you know. When you don't speak, then it means you are not informing other that you know. Are you getting what I am saying? So your answer is 70% correct and in C exam 70% is rank. Means you have a potential to score rank. But when you speak or when you write, whatever you know, don't be afraid about that. I will say I'm happy with their answer also, I'm happy with your answer also. They have given wrong answer, okay, they will rectify it. But you have given correct answer, you are super na. But if you know answer and if you are not giving answer, that is dangerous situation. Normally in exam hall, most of the time we know the answer but we are not able to write because of lack of confidence. Because of lack of confidence. Right now I have given that confidence to you. and therefore you have spoken. Otherwise, so you would have not given the answer only, na. What I am saying, whatever you know, just answer me, and you are 100% correct. Means yes, it is not a violation of periodicity concept, because one thing you are taking so much time is lack of understanding at CA inter level. CA inter level, you understood, but actually you have not understood. Okay? So already you have said correct. This event will relate to condition existing on balance sheet date, and condition arises from past event. Condition means contingencies only, na. So this event which occur after balance sheet date, if relate to condition existing on this date, then it become existing event. It is not a violation of what? Periodicity concept. First point, have you understood? First point, correct? You know, but I am just deriving answer from you. You know this point, but I am just deriving answer from you. Next point. When I am saying date of approval of financial statement, so what is this date of approval of financial statement? Means which date will be the approval date? Which date will be approval date? Batao. Bolo. Whether it is the date of approval given by board of directors, or whether it is the date of approval given by shareholders. Shareholders or director? Shareholders or director? How many are saying directors? How many are saying shareholders? Means one thing that you don't know. It is not shareholders, director. Not shareholders. But it is the responsibility to prepare financial statement of management or shareholders. Management, not shareholders. So it is director. It is director. Means once director sign it, it become approved. Means just try to understand. After this, one AGM will be held. One AGM will be held. And in AGM, this financial statement will be presented to whom? Shareholders. His shareholders approval is also required. Shareholders approval is also required, but that approval is not relevant for this chapter. That approval is not relevant from this chapter. Means the date, this period is after reporting date and before approval given by whom? Given by whom? Board of directors. Understood? Have you understood? Now one question will come in your mind. Is actually it is not coming, but I am creating one question. Means I am only becoming a student. A question will come, sir, why? Why this date is not taken into consideration? Well, nahi, this question should come or not? So why shareholders supreme power? Shareholders the owner of the company, na? So why this date is not relevant? Why this date is relevant? This question should come or not? Because everything have some reason. Why we have taken date of approval as the date of approval is the date when the board of directors signed it. Why we are not taking the date of approval when it is approved by shareholders? So every point has some reason. Just try to understand. As per Companies Act, once it is signed by board of director, that financial statement cannot be amended. It cannot be amended. It cannot be amended means it cannot be adjusted. And therefore, can I say this event will not be relevant for this chapter? Means can I say before approval of financial statement by director, it can be amended. It can be amended means it can be adjusted. And therefore, only these events are relevant for this chapter. Means can I say practically on this reporting date, we prepare a draft financial statement. We prepare draft financial statement. And this draft financial statement will be prepared by management. Then it will be audited. Then it will be audited. Books of account will be audited. Then auditor will come. They will do audit, etc. They will give some audit report. Understood? Then board of director meeting will be held. In board of directors meeting, this financial statement will be approved. This financial statement will be approved. Means it will be finalized. This will be finalized. Understood? Correct. It means what is event occurring after balance sheet date? Event occurring after balance sheet date are those events which can be favorable or unfavorable, which can be favorable to entity, which can be unfavorable to entity, and which occur between reporting date and the date when financial statements are approved for what? Issue. Approved for issue. And one clarification has been given by Ind AS 10 that this date will be date when it is approved by whom? Approved by board of directors. Approved by board of directors. Understood? Have you understood this point? Hello. Have you understood this point? Yes, sir. Now, now some clarification has been given. Now, some clarification has been given by Ind AS 10. Understood? Let us read one by one each clarification. If the financial statement are to be approved by shareholders, after financial statement are approved by board of directors. So can you say, of course, once it is approved by board of directors, it requires also approval of shareholders. But they have just given a clarification: the date of approval by shareholders is not relevant only. Date of approval by management is what? Relevant. So financial statement are approved for issue on the date of approval of date of approval by board of directors. Clarification has been given. Correct? First clarification you understood. The second clarification. Sometimes what happen? The entity, if they have taken loan from bank, so bank will appoint some of their officer as a non-executive director in supervisory board of that entity to investigate any fraud, etc. So bank person will become a member of what? A member of supervisory board. So in that case, what happens? Once it is approved by board of directors, it also requires approval of what? Supervisory board. Now in that case, what will date of approval? Understood? Is sometime the management has approved it, but now it requires approval of supervisory board, which consists of some non-executive directors. Now in that case, date of approval will be the which date of approval? When it is approved by board of directors or when it is approved by supervisory board? What do you think? बताओ? Board of directors, supervisory board. In any case, it is what? Board of directors only. This is clarification given. You don't become upset. Are you getting what I am saying? So just try to, if I will not do this type of points in class, in exam it can be dangerous because they will create a story in such a way you will be confused. Acha, supervisory board is more important because who has appointed? Bank has appointed to investigate frauds. Are you able to understand what I am saying? So if financial statement are to be issued by supervisory board of non-executive director for approval after management approved financial statement are approved for issue when management approved financial statement. Clarification understood? Third clarification. Third clarification. Just try to understand. Now you all know that entity may prepare quarterly report. Suppose this is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Understood? Now suppose the financial statement of quarter 1, can you say, will be approved somewhere यहाँ पर? Financial statement of quarter 2 will be approved somewhere यहाँ पर? Financial statement of quarter 3 will be approved somewhere यहाँ पर? financial statement of quarter 4 will be approved somewhere यहाँ पर. Means can the once quarter 4 result will be approved, it will be published. It will be published means it will be given to public. It means public knows about the profit of the company. Public knows about the profit of the company even though annual financial statement is not approved. Now for annual financial statement, can I say somewhere board of directors meeting will be held यहाँ पर and it will be approved by what? Board of directors. It means can I say before approval by board of directors, profit information is with whom? Public. Have you understood? Now the question arises whether the financial statement can be amended because already quarterly report has been approved. So can we amend the annual financial statement for these particular events? Means here approval date should be this date or this date. Once again clarification, this quarterly report has nothing to do with annual financial statement. That is quarter report. This is annual financial statement. Both are different and here also this will be what date of approval. These are all clarification. All clarification. Now I hope you have understood what I want to say. Have you understood? Now sometime what happened? Just try to understand. This clarification has not been given, but like to suppose this is what board of directors meeting held and approved. But sometime through articles of association, some power is given to the owner of the company or any officer of the company to reopen the books of account. Are we able to understand? So with articles of association, some power may be given to the owner of the company. It means they can come and they can reopen the books of account. Reopen the books of account means once again the approval is required. Quite possible. Now suppose power has been given and it has been reopened and once again approved यहाँ पर. Quite possible. Quite possible. Have you understood? By that particular person of honor, approved by that honor. Now in this case, what will be the date of approval? This point number A or point number B? So some power has been given through AOA to some of the officer or some of the owner to reopen the books of account. So the in this case, date of approval will be A or B? A or B? A or B? A or B? B or A? How many are saying A? How many say B? Means apply common sense, right? You are correct. I am saying the power has been given to reopen the books of account. Means it can be amended. The financial statement can be amended now. Then only the reopening is possible. Apply your common sense. So here the date of approval is what? Point number B. Point number B. Understood? Have you understood this point? Correct? There is one question related to this. Till now not asked in exam, but can be asked in exam. Got it? What I am saying? Can be asked in exam. Question 3. Write down question number 3 somewhere. The board of directors of ABC Limited approved the financial statement for reporting period 2011-12 for issue on June 15, 2012. The management of ABC Limited discovered a major fraud and decided to reopen the books of account. The financial statement was subsequently approved by the board of directors on June 30, 2012. What is the date of approval for issue as per Ind AS 10 in the given case? Means if they are decided to reopen the books of account, it means they have a power to reopen the books of account. From the question we can understand, otherwise the reopening is not possible only. In this case, what will be the date of approval? You only say this 30th June or 15th June? 30th June. Therefore, in the given case, the date of approval for issue as per Ind AS should be considered as 38. Every information is relevant from examination point of view. Got it? Correct? Understood? Correct. This also you have read, understood? Just write down refer question number 3. Coming to types of event. Now types of event, nothing to say much about this. It is as simple as what? AS4, adjusting event, non-adjusting event. Adjusting event are those events which provide which provide evidence for the condition existing on reporting date. So which provide evidence of the condition existing on reporting date. So that become adjusting event. Adjusting event will be adjusted to financial statement. Adjusted to financial statement means what? Because of that event, we need to adjust the asset or liability and income or what? Expense means either will increase asset or decrease asset or increase liability or decrease liability. That is adjustment required. Yes, sir. The balance event will be non-adjusting event. So non-adjusting event are those events which relate condition arising after reporting date. So they relate to condition, but that condition will arise what? After reporting date. So which relate to condition arising after reporting date. Therefore, no adjustment required. No adjustment required, but disclosure is required in financial statement. That is in notes to account if the amount is material. The amount is material. So disclosure of such event is required when the financial statement is required in financial statement, that is notes to account if the amount is material. However, as per AS4, such disclosure was required where? In the report of approving authority. One difference is there. Correct. Now, if I say this chapter 3 special point is there. If I'll take this 3 special point to done. But let me check what you have done in CA Inter. Okay. So what I will do? I will take 10 example of CA Inter level only. Means धीरे I will increase the level. I will start with Inter example, then I will reach towards CA final example. To understand whether you know this in AS10 or AS4 or not. Okay? Can I do? So I will take example and let's see what you know and what you don't know. What you know, what you don't. So can we start with examples? Example number 1. Correct? If you want to write, write. If you don't want to write, then also write. चलेगा? Understood? But write with me because I will not give any extra time. So I'll be slow. So you should write with me only. Example number 1. This is what? Reporting date. This is what? Date of approval. Correct. I think in CA Inter, the first example whatever given by your faculty was for debtor. Debtor. Yes or no? Every teacher will start with debtor only. Even I in CA Inter start with debtor. And sometimes students think that this chapter is only for debtor. Sometimes students think that this chapter is only for debtor. I don't know what you have taught. But normally with debtor example, we think that this is only for what? Provision for doubtful debt. At CA Inter level. But let's see. So I will also start with what? Debtor. Suppose there is one debtor, Mr. Ram, and amount outstanding is 10 lakh. Amount outstanding is 10 lakh. What happened after reporting date and before approval of financial statement? One event occurred. Means a fire occurred in factory of what? Factory of Mr. Ram. And he was declared what? He become insolvent. Insolvent. And no amount is recoverable. No amount is recoverable. Understood? Have you understood? Very simple, basic example. I hope you understood the same example was taken by your teacher also. Correct? But adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting even, non-adjusting even. Adjusting, non-adjusting. How many are saying non-adjusting? So everyone saying adjusting means you don't know. It means first example only clean bold. Clean bold. Means from first example it is proved that I don't know what you have done in the C inter level. But this is not an adjusting event. But I was expecting correct answer only. I was expecting correct answer for this though. It is a non-adjusting event. So what is the condition? Batao. What is the condition? Here the fire occurred after reporting date. He become insolvent. That is a condition related to on reporting date. He after reporting date. After reporting date. Means this example I was expecting correct answer only. means चलो ठीक है sir. First example. Sir CA inter we have given 2 years before. अच्छा 1 year before. After one day only forget. After 1 year what will happen? You only think about us. Correct now. Is what I have done in last class that only you don't remember. So what that faculty has done 1 year before that of course you have forgotten na. अरे बोलना रे. Is non-adjusting or adjusting? Non-adjusting na. Non-adjusting event. Why? Because this event which occur after reporting date led to condition which arises after reporting date. There was no condition on reporting date. If you want to write down reason, write down. Example number 1 you have understood. Come to example number 2. Example number 2. This is reporting date. This is date of approval. 1 second will take data only. 1 second will take data. Now there was Mr. Ram. Mr. Ram. And amount outstanding was what? 10 lakh. But what happened? What happened? To this Mr. Ram, a credit period, a credit period of 2 months was allowed. But this 2 months is already expired, and he is not paying. Means every day we are calling, but he is saying come tomorrow. He is not saying that we will not pay. If we say will not pay, then so it become bad debt only now. So can I say he become a doubtful debtor? So he become a doubtful debtor. Doubtful debtor. Correct? And because he become doubtful debtor, so can I say will create a provision for what? Doubtful debt. Now we don't use the word provision for doubtful debt. So can I use the allowance for doubtful debt? Okay. So already in the draft financial statement, we have already created an allowance for what? Doubtful debt of rupees 2 lakh. Okay, this is based on best estimate. So you can't ask me so why 2 lakh. This is the management best estimate. Out of 10 lakh, 2 lakh may not be recovered. Understood? So the net amount is how much? 8 lakh. Net amount is how much? 8 lakh. Understood? Can you say when I am saying on reporting that this is on draft balance sheet, draft financial statement. Till now it is not approved. Till now it is not approved. Now what happened? After reporting date and before approval of financial statement, Mr. Ram become Mr. Ram was declared what? Insolvent. Now he was declared insolvent, and because of that reason no amount is recoverable. Now no amount is recoverable. Have you understood this point? Now batao, it is an adjusting or non-adjusting event. Adjusting or non-adjusting event. Bola everyone say it is an adjusting event. I hope everyone will say adjusting only after example number 1. So of course you will say adjusting event only at CA final level. So I should expect the correct answer only. Adjusting event because this relate to condition existing on reporting date. Adjusting event. Any doubt about this? Why it is not a non-adjusting event? I think you have understood adjusting event. But my question to you all, what is my question? You can say because if it is an adjusting event, you need to pass some adjustment entry यहाँ पर. So what will be the adjustment entry? What will be the adjustment entry on 31st March? बोलो 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 बोलो. What will be journal entry? Bad debt account debit to. Means what journal entry is saying? Bad debt account how much? 8 lakh na. Then do re. What journal entry you have done यहाँ पर? The journal entry was PL account debit to allowance. Bad debt account debit 8 lakh. Allowance account debit. Allowance account debit 2 lakh. To debtor how much? 10 lakh. Anyone who want to change this journal entry? Any alternative journal entry? Or I will close it. If everyone is saying correct, so okay only. Follow. Anyone? Same? Everyone saying same? बोलना रे. You are thinking so much, this is not correct. Means one thing is clear that just try to understand. You have done AS4, but actually you have not understood that time. The teaching style in CA Inter is totally different. However, I will say in CA Inter, no teacher teach conceptually. They teach only from examination question point of view. The question asks adjusting, non-adjusting, they will teach that much only. They will not give you the extra knowledge. Means, can I say without concept you pass? Can I say this or not? Means you do not have conceptual knowledge, but you pass what? CA Inter exam? Means CA foundation, CA Inter you can pass without concept. That I have proved. From beginning I am proving it. But in CA final you will not be able to pass without concept. This is the difference between CA Inter exam and CA final exam. And if you follow that process of learning, can is a multiple attempt will come. And because of that reason, a CA Inter who pass such a difficult exam struggle in CA final exam. Normally, this is a question mark. A student who pass CA Inter exam, how he is taking multiple attempt in CA final. Even though I have seen a CA Inter who have scored rank will not be able to pass in first attempt in CA final. This also have been seen. And I hope you also know that many students who have scored rank in CA Inter will not be able to get rank in CA final. CA final rank holder will be totally different. So the approach is totally different. And normally students continue the same approach of learning. They think that we pass there, we'll pass here also. 90% students follow the same approach. 90% student I will say. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Difference happened to CA Inter. Means if they ask question from India standard CA final level, so of course the level will be different na. So this is not correct. Just try to understand. When you are saying bad debt is an expected loss or actual loss? When you are saying bad debt, it is an expected loss or actual loss? Bolo, bolo, bolo. Actual loss. Actual loss happen in current year ki next year. Next year in Bachpan you have done one order of journal entry, chronological order. What is the meaning of chronological order? What is the meaning of chronological order? Ki journal entry should be recorded as per the date of occurrence. Can you change the basic concept? Whatever you have done in CA foundation, then then there is no meaning of chronological order. Means can you say actual loss happened yahan par? This is an actual loss. Means can you say you will pass one journal entry, bad debt will be recorded in this year. Understood? What is the objective of AS for an India? Then let me first inform you. Objective is what? When you are giving information to the user of financial statement based on some estimation, because this allowance is an estimation, and if you got some information about that estimation before approval of financial statement, you can see that estimation should be adjusted or not. Means on 31st March your estimated amount of bad debt was 2 lakh, but before approval of financial statement you have been informed that now it will be a loss of 10 lakh. So you should increase the amount of allowance by how much? 8 lakh. Means, can I say what will be the adjustment entry? Adjustment entry will be what? Increase allowance by what? 8 lakh. This is adjustment entry. Means objective is to provide true and fair information to the user of financial statement. Some event occur after reporting that and before approval of financial statement, we provide that evidence. So on 31st March, you estimate 2 lakh, but before approval of financial statement, you have been informed that 2 lakh is not 2 lakh, 2 lakh is what 10 lakh. So you should create an allowance of what 10 lakh. But you can't say it is a bad debt. Bad debt happen in which year? In next financial year. So next financial year, you will pass journal entry of bad debt. The objective is to give true and fair picture to the user of financial statement. So if the estimated amount, if you got some information about that estimated amount before approval, change the estimation. Change the estimation. This is the objective of this chapter. This is the objective of this chapter. Now it means whatever question I will ask, whatever example I apply your common sense based on this particular point. We are here to provide true and fair information to the user of financial statement. If the estimated amount if we got some information before approval of financial statement, we should adjust it. We should adjust it now. This is the basic objective. Have you understood? Have you understood? Correct. Are you able to understand level of teaching? Teaching level you are understanding? Because I am just creating you for market. Once you become CA, you will go for audit now. So this all situation will come. Got it? Let me come to third example. Example number 3. Can I continue? Can I continue? No, reply only. Can I continue? Yes or no? 31st March. This is date of approval. Once again, Mr. Ram. Means data only na? Amount outstanding is 10 lakh. And suppose he was a doubtful debtor. He was a doubtful debtor. And you have already created an allowance for bad and doubtful debt amounting to rupees 2 lakh. And the net amount is coming how much? 8 lakh. Means what happened before 31st March? He went to Pakistan. Now because he went to Pakistan, the doubt is there now whether he will come back or not. Am I right or not? went to Pakistan. So now he'll come back or not, doubt is there na, so it become a doubtful debtor. And based on that contingency, we created some allowance up to like. Understood? Now, before approval of financial statement, he came back. Before approval of financial statement, he came back from Pakistan. And suppose he paid, collected entire amount. Entire amount is collected from Mr. Ram. Quite possible, na? Quite possible. Bolo yes or no? Before approval of financial statement, the entire amount is collected from Mr. Ram. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting event, non-adjusting event. Adjusting event, non-adjusting event. Fast. Fast, fast, fast. I am asking adjusting, non-adjusting. I am not asking reasoning. Reasoning you give me after saying adjusting or non-adjusting. But I ask that much only you answer na. I am asking what is your name. You are giving me name of your father. Simple na. I am asking what is your name. Sir, my father is this and this. He is doing business. Arey Baba, what is the question that you answer? Normally in exam also that mistake we do. They are asking something. You are starting from something. So initially they will give kata. So you need to be very much focused on requirement. What is the requirement of the question book? Adjusting, non-adjusting. Now everyone is silent. Adjusting, na? So why you are taking so much time? I said whatever you answer, give me. Don't take so much time. You have only 3 hours in exam, huh? You know this 3 hours is the deciding factor of your entire career. Normally we don't understand that. The preparation time is 1 year. The deciding factor is 3 hours. Are you getting? Means 1 year you are prepared extraordinary. 3 hours not working. Game is over. Game is over. 1 second, 6 months. Am I right or not? You are an extraordinary student. 3 hours not working. Dangerous. So it means you need to understand when the question is coming, how to react immediately. How to react immediately, na? So of course you are correct. Adjusting event. Of course you are correct. Adjusting event means what adjusting? What adjustment entry you will do? You only say. So reverse what? Reverse the amount of what? Allowance. Now I hope you have understood. Correct? Reverse the amount of allowance. But I am still now not confident whether you have understood or not. So I'll just cross check once again. Can I cross check? बोल देना. चलो. I am creating one more question, which is actually a question of CA inter level, and I think they have asked many times in exam also. Let's see how you are reacting. Once again, Mr. Ram. Amount is what? 10 lakh. Now, I'll ask you in two different case. Case 1. Check of rupees 10 lakh received after 31st March. Check of rupees 10 lakh received after 31st March. But before approval of financial statement, that is understood fine. Correct. But adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting? Of course, non-adjusting. Non-adjusting. I think no clarification required. Non-adjusting ना? Non-adjusting. Very good. मजा आया ना? Such a lollipop question I am asking. Huh? Let me change the question. Huh? No, no, that will come at the end. Default will come at the end. अभी नहीं. Now, check dated on or before 31st March. Received what? After 31st March. Have you understood this point? Means the check dated on or before 31st March. Means the date of check is 29 March. But received after 31st March. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Have you understood the question? You receive a check dated 29 March, but that is was actually received after 31st March. So can we pass journal entry of received on 31st March? Means when you are saying bank account debit data on 31st March, that will become nil on 31st March. So this become adjusting event. So adjusting event, non-adjusting event. Adjusting. This is a CA inter exam questions. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Everyone saying adjusting? Non-adjusting. Anyone who is saying non-adjusting? Hello. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Yeah, sir. Why you are asking? The give answer, will do ratta vacation, will go an exam. They could just try to understand. There can be 1 lakh type of case studies. In exam, one question will come. You need to answer based on concept, not based on question. And right now, in 1 hour, I can create 10,000 questions. But I don't know which question is going to come. I am building concept. Apply concept answer. Adjusting, not adjusting. Adjusting. Can I lock it? It is a non-adjusting event. Is one thing till now you have not understood. It is a non-adjusting event. Till now you have not understood. And this is CA inter exam question. Huh? Let's just try to understand. You receive check after 31st March. Can you use the check on 31st March? If you cannot use, whether it is an asset. If it is not an asset on 31st March, can you recognize an asset on 31st March? No. Apply common sense. Don't apply what is given in AS for Index 10. You become C and think logically now. Think logically. When you are saying adjusting, so it means you are recognizing that check on 31st March. Can you use that check? Can you deposit that check? Can you endorse that check? If you cannot endorse, if you cannot deposit, if you cannot use it, so it is not an asset only. If it is not an asset, then it is not an adjusting event. Correct now. So it means it is a non-adjusting event. Why? As it is not an asset on 31st March. It is not an asset on 31st March. What is the meaning of asset? What is the meaning of asset? Liability I have done where? In the previous chapter. So now the time has come for asset. Means every definition I will do in CA final. Each definition, each word I will define. And you don't know that only. Do you know the meaning of asset? What is the meaning of asset? Full silent. Present obligation, that is a liability. Obligation is Present inflow. Acha, have you done the meaning of asset in CA foundation? Have you done the meaning of asset in CA Inter? There was one chapter in CA Inter framework for preparation and presentation of finances. The meaning of asset, liability, income, and expense was given that chapter. Normally, teacher don't teach, even though they teach, then don't study. The theoretical question will come from that. We'll do that. I don't know whether you have done or not, but I know you don't know the meaning of asset. Means just try to understand you are at CA final level, you don't know the meaning of asset. Acha, before becoming CA, I am in your life. Am I right or not? After becoming CA, if you don't know the meaning of asset, this is the pap. बोलना नहीं, this is a pap or not? Pap means a scene. As a CA, as a chartered accountant, it will be a scene. So, acha, before becoming CA, I came in your life. अरे बोल ना रे बोल. So asset means what? Asset means any resource any resource of course arising from past event which are controlled by entity and which provide FEB. FEB means what? Future economic benefit. FEB to what? Entity. Understood? So asset means any resource arising from past activity which are under the control of the entity and which provide future economic benefit to the entity. Which are under control. Control does not mean ownership. Means without ownership any asset may be under our control. Without ownership an asset may be under our control. Best example, leased asset. Leased asset we are not legal owner but they are under control. Therefore as per AS 19 we recognize it as an asset. So it should be under control. Under control. Understood? What is the meaning of control? Control means control means entity entity has a right to use it, right to use it, and has a right to restrict other person to use it. Understood? So if I can use it and I can restrict you from using that asset, it become my asset. Then it will be an asset. So right now on 31st March, check was not under the control of the entity. Therefore they cannot use it. Therefore it is not an asset. The question of recognition will not arise and therefore it is not a adjusting event. Understood? Case number 2, have you understood now? Means your answer should be based on asset definition. If you are writing only adjusting event or non-adjusting event, that is a correct answer, but that is not a best answer. Already I said you will be given marks not for the correct answer, you will be given marks for what? Best answer. Have you understood the mean difference between correct and best answer? One more case, case number 3. Check dated on or before 31st March collected by collecting agent before 31st March but received by entity after 31st March. Have you understood the case? This is collected by some collecting agent. Bank can be one collecting agent, an employee can be a collecting agent, or there can be some authorized person on behalf of entity who can be a collector. But it is handed over to company after 31st March, adjusting, non-adjusting. So the adjusting, non-adjusting, adjusting, non-adjusting. Not nalayak. It is collected by collecting agent. Even though it is collected by collecting agent, it is under the control of what? Entity only. Agent is nothing but acting on behalf of what? Principal, na? अरे बोलना रे. It is under the control entity. Now it can be endorsed. It can be deposited in the bank. Therefore, it is what? Asset. And therefore, it is now what? Adjusting event. Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? Can we take break? Okay. But have you understood? Have you understood the level of examples? We are into CA inter only. But have you understood the level of explanation? Difference are you feeling? Abhi, right now I'm in CA inter. What will happen when I'll come to CA final chapters? The chapter which is also CA final chapter, but a chapter which you are doing for the first time in CA final. So I'm going to kill you. Correct? With the concepts. चलेगा? चलो, we'll take break. Don't worry. Can we start once again, everyone? Yes. So before break, we have taken four example about adjusting and non-adjusting event. All are related data. Now let us come out of data to some other asset or liability. Correct. But from CA inter point of view, sometimes we as a student think that this AS is only for data. Because in exam also more or less they will ask question from data. I don't know why, but in CA inter तो ऐसा ही था. Right. Let us come to some point. Example number 5. You are writing all examples na? Write down clearly so that it will help you at the time of revision. Now this is reporting date. This is date of approval, and there was some inventory on which date? On reporting date. Correct. And the cost price of inventory was 100 and NRV of inventory was 120. Now you know cost price, you know NRV. As per AS2 as well as per Ind AS 2, this inventory are measured at lower of cost price and NRV. This you know. Therefore, can you see will do valuation, will do value is equal to 100 as per Ind AS 2. Ind AS 2 coming soon in your life. The next chapter is Ind AS 2 only. The next chapter, whatever will do, that is Ind AS 2 only. Correct. Now what happened? Before approval of financial statement, a fire occurred, inventory damage, inventory damaged, and NRV now become 25. Without adjusting, non-adjusting, adjusting, non-adjusting, adjusting, non-adjusting, adjusting, non-adjusting, non-adjusting. Why? Understood point. This relate to condition which arises after balance sheet date, therefore non-adjusting given. However, the amount of loss is material, then disclosure should be given. I think example number 5 is very simple. Let us come to example number 6. Means actually I have done this example number 5 to come to example number 6 only. The objective is example number 6, not example number 5. Objective is example number 6. Now example number 6, 31st March, date of approval. Once again there is inventory. Cost price is 100. Now NRV is equal to 80. So value is equal to how much? 80. And how much loss you have transferred to PL? How much loss you have transferred to PL? 20. The loss which is written off, that is what? 20. This is draft balance sheet. Now before I come to adjusting, non-adjusting even, my question to you, what is actually net realizable value? Means what is this net realizable value? Means I need to refer Ind AS 2, but you have done AS 2, so you can understand from AS 2 what is NRV. What is a NRV? Means can I say NRV is nothing but estimated selling price? Estimated selling price minus what? Estimated selling expense. Selling expense. This is NRV. Means at what price it can be sold after 31st March. So it is based on such estimation. Correct. Now what happened? Before approval of financial statement, actual sale happened. Actual sale, and it was sold at 70. Sold at 70. The adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Non-adjusting, adjusting. Everyone saying non-adjusting? Correct? Still now you have not understood the emotions of this chapter. Till now you are in CA inter, you are not able to understand my emotion. I already said become CA. Otherwise, whatever answer you will give as per reference of what CA inter only. Just try to understand. Already I have said actual sale happened. And I have given you the meaning of NRV. You only said it is estimated selling price. Now you got actual information. We estimated that it will be sold at rupees 80, but actual sale price 70. We should adjust it. So before approval, if you know the actual information, adjust the financial statement. Adjust the financial statement, na? Are bolna re. It means it is an adjusting event. And can I say your value should be now what? 70, and the loss should be how much? 30. Means it should be further written down by what? It should be further written down by rupees 10. It is an adjusting event. Understood? Once again, please, I am requesting you, don't answer based on CA enter. Now you are in CA final. Apply your common sense. Apply your common sense. Adjusting event. This question, super important question from exam point of view at CA final. Correct. Come to one more. Example number 7. Once again, inventory only. Cost price is equal to 100 and NRB is equal to 120. Correct. Now what happened? Before I just give some information, my question to you all, normally what happens, there are some inventory which may become obsolete, because it become obsolete, so the, of course it cannot be sold at cost price, it will be sold at below cost price. Are you able to understand? Or there are some perishable goods, can I say it may perish after 31st March. It can be sold but at lower price. Or there are some goods which may be expired after 31st March. Expired goods can be also sold but at lower price. My question to you, this obsolescence, this stock which perishes or the stock which expired, well, that information was available on 31st March. It will be obsolete, it will be perish, it was not available. Not able to understand. The question you have not understood. Means what happened? After 31st March, this become obsolete, correct? And now NRB is equal to 70. I mean to this point, what I am saying. Now this become what? 70. Adjusting event, non-adjusting event. Adjusting, non-adjusting event. This is all a practical example. Means you will find once you become CA, you go for audit, this type of situation will come. I'm just giving all example based on practical experience. All are practical based example. Hello. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Non-adjusting, adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. No, everyone saying non-adjusting? Just try to understand. As a businessman, I mean, right now, what happened with me, I am saying, when new scheme came, so I have a stock of study material for old scheme. Now that was proposed before 31st March only. But the new scheme, old scheme is applicable for the last exam. New scheme will be applicable for next to next exam. But I know it will become obsolete. I know now. I know right now. It will become obsolete. So what I have done, I have decreased the price of my study material. Means suppose the price is 1000. Now I am selling at 500. Means that information is known to me or not? That information is known to me. Can I say as a businessman, I know when the stock is going to become obsolete? As a businessman, I know it is it will be expired soon. Correct now. And if you don't know, you are not a businessman. Why you are doing business in that item? Can you suppose I am dealing with some item which are based on technology. So I know new technology is going to be launched. And once new technology will come, this item will become obsolete. That information is with me only. And it means, can it become obsolete? So that information was available on this date. So that relate to the condition existing on balance sheet that on 31st March it is quite possible that you can sell at 120. Because right now it is not obsolete, but after 31st March it become obsolete. That information was known to you. Known to you. It means it is an adjusting event. It is an adjusting event. As what information of obsolescence was available on which date? On or before 31st March. Yes or no? And therefore it is an adjusting event. Can you say any inventory will not become obsolete immediately? Any inventory will not become obsolete immediately, na? It will take some time. And can you say this period is not a longer period, na? It is what? A very short period of time. 31st March and reporting date. 3 or 4 months, not more than that, na? It will not immediately become obsolete or something happened and it become obsolete. The information was not known on 31st March that it is going to become what? Obsolete. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Example number 7 also you have understood. Then we come to one more example. Example number 8. Let us now move from inventory to any other asset. Let us come to property, plant and equipment. PP. Means I am taking all types of assets so that we can understand this chapter is related to every asset, every liability. Correct. Now suppose you have a property, plant and equipment whose carrying amount as on 31st March was 10 lakh and it was sold at rupees 8 lakh before approval of financial statement. So there is a loss of 2 lakh. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Non-adjusting. Correct only. Chalo. Non-adjusting. Even I think no clarification required. No clarification required. Correct. Example number 9. Now whatever question I am creating right now, this is one of the favorite question of CA Inter. But from my point of view, whatever solution given by ICI for that particular question was not correct. It means from my point of view the solution was not correct, but in CA Inter I teach as per ICI solution only because I can't change ICI solution now. So I need to teach as per ICI only. But now at CA final level we can understand the correct solution. And you, when I will do this question, you will understand, yes, this type of question they used to ask in exam. There is a property, plant and equipment whose carrying amount is 10 lakh. Suppose one agreement to sell at rupees 8 lakh was entered before what? On or before 31st March. Let me say this, suppose this is a land. Suppose this is a land. Understood? Land, the carrying amount was 10 lakh and there was an agreement to sell before 31st March. And before approval of financial statement, the registration was completed. Registration was completed. What do you mean by registration? Registration means legal formalities has been done. Now, whether it is an adjusting or non-adjusting based on CA inter. You have done this type of questions. This was one of the favorite question of CA inter. Adjusting, non-adjusting. First to apply CA inter only. Then I will say if something is wrong there. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Means answer was correct, but from my point of view, AS4 is not applicable only. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. अरे बोलो. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Huh? Not nalayak. अरे बाबा, registration completed before. Agreement enter before 31st March. There was a condition. Registration done before approval of financial statement. So why it is non-adjusting? Why now you are thinking from CA inter, CA final point of view. I'm happy. I'm happy. But just try to understand. First, now let us come to for CA inter. As for CA inter is an adjusting given. But from my point of view, this is not a question of AS4. This is not a question of India AS 10. Just try to understand. I'm happy with your whatever you are thinking. So agreement to sale means sale agreement done. Can I say this is only a legal formalities? The legal formalities na? Legal formality. Now if you have done one principle in CA foundation, CA foundation you have done one concept substance over form. What is the meaning of substance over form? Substance over form, one of the very important concept for preparation of for preparation of financial statement. And entire index is based on substance over form. Entire index is based on substance over form. A very small concept we have done in CA foundation, but that is the base of what entire index. That is the base of entire accounting. Our entire financial statement is based on that principle, substance over form. What do you mean by substance over form? You know, in CA foundation there is one chapter, chapter number 1. In that there is one unit number 2. That is accounting principle and convention. That is the most important chapter for a chartered accountant. But at CA foundation level, teacher don't teach that. They will believe me, they don't teach. They will teach, but only from theoretical point of view. Means that is based on accounting concept, going concept, matching concept, realization concept. Means when I take classes of CA foundation, when I used to give come se come 10 hours in this particular concept because I know because I teach CA final also na. So I know the importance of that chapter in CA's life. But normally other teacher will not give 1 hour also. Important chapter, but not taken into consideration as CA foundation. What is the meaning of substance over form? Substance over form, what you have done, that that we should give more importance to reality over legality. Reality over legality, normally teacher will say in this way, but actual meaning is what? The accounting treatment should be based on actual happening, not based on the legal documents. Means accounting treatment should not be based on legal document. Accounting treatment should be based on substance, actual happening of that transaction. Means when agreement has been done, so can I say control has been transferred? Control has been transferred. Control has been transferred. And once the control has been transferred, that asset is not under our control. Asset is not under our control. Now, if you have read AS 10 or will do Ind AS 16, Ind AS 16 says that PP will be de-recognized when control is transferred. And can you see this is only legal formality that should not be given importance. Once control transferred, even though registration is not completed, can you see it is a sale transaction which need to be recorded. It means it is not a question of what? Ind AS 10. It is a question of what? Ind AS 16. If it is property, plant and equipment. Are you able to understand what I am saying? Normally when agreement is made and a question is silent, we always deem that control is transferred. Sometimes what happened, agreement done but control is not transferred. Means if control is not transferred, then we will not do any sales journal entry. Even though registration is completed before approval of financial statement, because on 31st March no control was transferred. Yes or no? Means just try to understand what I want to say. If I say in this way, case 1. If control is transferred on or before 31st March, can I say property, plant and equipment will be de-recognized even if registration is not completed before approval of financial statement, before date of approval. Understood? Means registration is not important only. Have you understood this point? Are you able to understand what I am saying? Correct? Means if question is silent, always assume this. Because when agreement is done, normally we assume that control has been transferred. But sometime what happens? Due to some restriction given in agreement, control may not be transferred. We need to read the terms and condition of agreement. Correct now? If control is not transferred on or before 31st March, then PP will not be de-recognized. De-recognized means what? Remove from balance sheet. Correct? PP will not be de-recognized even if what? Registration is completed before what? Date of approval. This is CA final answer. I will say the question is not based on Ind AS 10, but I am just referring this question because they can create this type of question in CA final level also. Then give answer based on Ind AS 16. This actually the answer is based on Ind AS 16, not as per what. So this entire answer is based on Ind AS 16. Understood? Have you understood this? Correct. Example number 10. Before 31st March, proposed to sell a property, plant and equipment. There was a proposal to sell. An actual sale happened what? Before approval, but the adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Huh? Non-adjusting, na? Correct. Non-adjusting, correct only. Correct. That is non-adjusting event. But only for your clarification, such PP may be classified held for sale. HFS means what? Held for sale. Maybe, may be classified as held for sale as per Ind AS 105. But right now you don't know Ind AS 105. Can you say on completion of syllabus you will be knowing Ind AS 105? Then go and just refer Ind AS 105 what Ind AS 105 says. It is quite possible on proposal such asset may be classified as held for sale. Then Ind AS 105 is attracted. But right now you don't know Ind AS 105, so I can't give a reference of what Ind AS 105. But I have referred it so that on revision you can think it. Got it? Come to example number 7. Some more examples. On 31st March, date of approval. Now suppose on 31st March, High Court case is pending. Now based on Ind AS 37, you have created provision for legal damages is equal to 5 lakh. Means already you have created provision for legal damages. Understood? Correct? Yes, sir. Now before approval of account, case 1. Case was settled. Means case was decided either in favor of company or against company. In favor of company or against company. Case was settled against company and damages payable is equal to 6 lakh. बताओ adjusting non-adjusting. Adjusting non-adjusting. Increase provision by 1 lakh. Very good. So adjusting event na? Very good. Adjusting event. Case 2. Case was settled in favor of what? Company. Is no damages now? Nil damages. The adjusting non-adjusting. Adjusting non-adjusting. Adjusting an entire amount of provision will be reversed. This type of example, so you have not had a CA inter level, na? This is CA final level example. You are giving correct answer now. Understood what I am saying? अरे बोलना. Adjusting event. Because now you have understood the emotions of this chapter. Am I right or not? Case 3. A similar case was decided in favor of company. Understood? Similar case was decided in favor of company. A similar case, quite possible. A similar case is pending in some other court that was decided in favor of company. Now, adjusting, non-adjusting. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Huh? Similar case was decided in favor of company. अरे भाई similar case, just try to understand. You are giving exam. You are giving exam. Similar student pass in the exam. You will be happy or you will be sad. If he can pass, so you can also pass. Nah, you are confident or not? Similar student, not intellectual. Not similar student. Means as per your level, he also pass. It happens na. Sometimes actually he pass. I will also pass. Right? You think na? You pass. Then to I will pakka pass. So you are deciding based on him na. Or sometimes what happen? A good student, intellectual student is not clear. Huh? He has not passed. Now you start doubting about yourself. Am I right or not? You start doubting about yourself whether I can pass. It means you are just deciding about you based on others. So of course this case which was decided in favor of that company so will give some reference. So of course some relaxation will be there now. It means there can be two situations. Means of course it will be an adjusting event. Just try to understand adjusting event. Either you will decrease the amount of provision or can I say provision may become contingent liability or no treatment required. Means there can be two situations. Either now it become possible obligation, correct na? It become possible obligation na? Or it become remote obligation. If I am saying possible obligation, then it will become contingent liability. Means you reverse what? Provision and disclose what? And here no treatment required. No treatment understood. Means it will based on the facts and circumstances of that particular case and based on the information given by your legal advisor. But of course it will be somewhat adjusting event. Or you can decrease the amount of provision also, you will become relaxed. Now we are not supposed to pay 5 lakh, we'll pay only what 3 lakh, 2 lakh like this. But that will depend upon other information of the question. But it will be somewhat adjusting event, what I want to say. I've given three case 1, 2, 3. Have you understood? Correct. Example number? Example number 12. Means I said 10, but I extended na. Means I can create n number of example. Means if I want to teach, I can teach this chapter for 5 days. And every time you'll think a new type of case is coming. But I don't have that much time. So I can give you the concept. I don't know what question will come. If you know the concept, you can give answer. So I'm building that concept. 31st March and date of approval. Now what happened? Suppose same High Court case was pending, but there was here possible obligation and you have disclosed a contingent liability of rupees 10 lakh. Quite possible. Understood. Now some event occur and because of that reason, now to think that this amount may become 12 lakh. Quite possible. Means it is contingent liability only. But this amount will become 12 lakh. Are you able to understand? Some event or some information came to you before approval of financial statement. Now, whatever estimation you have done before 31st, means on 31st March, now you are thinking that 10 lakh will not be 10 lakh, it will be 12 lakh. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Means this is what disclosures now. Adjusting event or non-adjusting event. Adjusting, non-adjusting. Means when you need to adjust the disclosure, you are not supposed to adjust the disclosure. Whether disclosure amount should be changed or should not be changed. Yeah, you are silent. I will go outside the class now. Please say or either say don't say, don't say, don't say. क्या हो रहा है? One second, one second. Whether you should adjust the amount of disclosure, you should not adjust the amount of disclosure. Adjust the amount of disclosure. It means it is an adjusting event only now. So when you are updating the disclosure amount, that is also an adjusting event. This information I want to provide. Normally student think adjustment means only adjustment entry. But this is also what adjusting event. Till now this type of question has not been asked. Believe me, when this type of question is created, most of the students will say no adjustment required. Because they think adjustment means only adjustment entry. Correct now. So can I say this is also adjusting event, and we should adjust the amount of what? Amount of contingent liability in what? Notes to account. So this is also adjusting event. That I just want to say. If this question will come, normally student will say, Acha, no adjustment, no entry only, because disclosure, therefore it is not an adjusting event, 0 mark. It is an adjusting event. Understood? That information I just want to give you. I don't know whether this type of question they will ask or they will not ask. Now, I think 12 questions I have taken. One question, this is the last question. Let us understand whether you have understood the extent of CA final or not. If you can give me this correct answer, it means my job done. And if you are not giving correct answer, then also my job done. Huh? Because I can't teach more than this for this particular chapter. Let's see how you are reacting. Are you with me? Please give me correct answer only. Okay, correct now. So if you give wrong answer, so everyone will doubt about me now. Am I right or not? बोलना रे. Ah, reporting date. Reporting date. Date of approval. Now, on this date, management decided to close down a factory. But this is a question of what? This is a question of restructuring. Today only we have done. Means now I am linking Ind AS 10 with Ind AS 37. The final level. Level you understood? Now. Resolution passed. Passed. And detailed plan was made. Understood? And before approval of financial statement, announcement made. Have you understood? Announcement made. I hope you are understanding what I want to say. So today only we have done restructuring. Now so you can link. But can you give answer based on India's 10 with reference to India's 37? Now whether on 31st March should we create provision for restructuring? This is the question. Should we create provision for restructuring? First to think and say you have one life, one attempt. One life, one attempt. Na? So whatever answer you are giving that should be accurate with some analysis. ठीक है ना sometime what happen if you know Hindi in Hindi I will say something जो दिखता है होता नहीं जो होता है वो दिखता नहीं whatever is visible is actually not exist and whatever exists that is not visible understood are you getting what I'm saying English तो you have understood ना बोलो whether provision is required or not required required or not required how many are saying required अच्छा required how many are saying not required not required required adjusting non adjusting how many are saying non adjusting how many are saying adjusting everyone saying adjusting na is everyone saying provisions are required if you are saying provisions is not required then it become non adjusting if you are saying provision is not required that is a non adjusting what you are saying अरे बोल first thing it means till now you have not understood India's 37 if you are saying adjusting it means till now you have not understood India's 37 India's 37 says constructive obligations on which date on 31st March it will arise when two conditions is satisfied on or before 31st March whether both the conditions satisfied on or before 31st March so there is no constructive obligation on 31st March the question of India's 37 will not arise only it means the condition arises afterward the condition is satisfied after 31st March so constructive obligation arises after 31st March it is a non-adjusting or adjusting event non-adjusting event na but I was expecting correct answer really I was expecting correct answer it means one thing you need to increase your level you need to increase your level or I will teach as per CA inter because CA inter mein what teacher used to do teacher used to come teacher used to say everything they don't used to ask any question this much questions they have asked no teacher and no teacher in India will ask this type of question at CA final level only one teacher CA Chiranjeev Jain this much question though no one will ask this I am saying true huh? So it means I am just giving an opportunity to learn with what interaction. So if you will not change, I will change. That is also one type of understanding. Only I will teach, you will understand. But whether you will understand, that will be a doubt. But right now when I'm asking, you are thinking, Acha, this is the case. When you are thinking, you are going to that level. When I will teach, I will only explain, you will not think only na. One day I will teach without asking question. You will understand, but actually you will not understand. ये इंटर में यही हुआ ये इंटर में I know what you have done and what you have not done. What teacher teach, what teacher don't teach that I also know. What teacher can teach, what teacher can't teach that I also know. Are you getting? It means, can I say, there is no constructive obligation. It means constructive obligation arises after what? 31st March. Yes, in days 37 is applicable, but in next financial year. But I mean, right now we are doing for current financial year. So it in days 10 says it is a non-adjusting event. That we are learning now. It is a non-adjusting event. The same question will be asked in your exam. Chalo. If you have understood this much, the last question कर लेते हैं. 5 minutes I will take extra from you. Can I take permission? 5 minutes extra. Then there are three special cases that we'll do tomorrow. Are you getting what I am? Three special case chapter will be over. The three special case is easy. Okay? Last example. This example na is based on some practical points. Of course, in exam this type of question they don't ask. But one of the student asked me in one of the batch. He was a doubt about this. He only asked me about this, so I answered him. So I like this question personally. I started taking in all batches after that. Okay, na? The practical doubt. This type of question may not be asked. Apply your common sense. Huh? Apply your common sense. Okay. Now what happened? There was one creditor amounting to rupees 10 lakh, and a check of rupees 10 lakh was issued on or before 31st March. Normally when check is issued, then we'll pass one journal entry. So journal entry what? Creditor account debit to bank, and can I say on 31st March creditor will become nil? Creditor will become nil. Understood? This much you understood? Now what happened? Before approval of financial statement, check was dishonored. Check was dishonored. Apply your common sense, huh? Common sense. Check was dishonored. बताओ adjusting non-adjusting event. Means when you are saying adjusting, you need to reverse the journal entry. Means then you need to reverse the journal entry on 31st March. When you are saying non-adjusting, so no adjustment entry. Then check dishonor entry will be done the next financial year. Then check dishonor entry will be done in next financial year. When you are saying non-adjusting, when you are saying adjusting, so you need to reverse on 31st March only. बताओ adjusting non-adjusting. Fast थोड़ा सा fast. Adjusting non-adjusting. How many are saying adjusting? How many are saying non-adjusting? अच्छा, just try to understand. Everyone. थोड़ा सा information I am giving. I am a entity management. I have issued check to you of rupees 10 lakh. Means it is whose duty to maintain 10 lakh in bank account? Your duty. My duty. Management duty na. You are the creditor. I have issued a check of rupees 10 lakh. Now can I say it is my duty to maintain 10 lakh sufficient balance in bank account? If I am not maintaining, the condition was there on 31st March. We should maintain or not? We should maintain 10 lakh on bank account. That condition was there or not? And if you are not maintaining, you should maintain. And check it dishonor, it means that information Give evidence of the condition existing on balance sheet date and just try to understand if you are saying non-adjusting. What I will do every time I will reduce my liability on balance sheet date. Can I say it is always better to say less, better to disclose less liability to attract investor? So on balance sheet date, I will issue a check. I will decrease my liability. I will attract investor. Then dishonor. Then to I am manipulating the accounts now. I am manipulating the accounts. I said apply common sense. Common sense is very important. If you do not have common sense, then you become common people. You need to be chartered accountant, na? Correct? Chartered accountant need to have sixth sense also. So I think now you have understood it is an adjusting event. As if you want to write down as it is a responsibility of management to keep sufficient balance in bank account. As it is the responsibility of management to keep sufficient balance in bank account. Adjusting event means you reverse journal entry, na? Reverse journal entry on 31st March. Means you need to disclose creditor 10 lakh in balance sheet. Acha, this is the case number one. One more point. Case number two is what? If the 3 month is expired and check is not deposited, check will become what? Check will become, huh? Check will become stale as per RBI guidelines. So suppose it is quite possible creditor was busy in his marriage and after marriage went outside India and 3 months went and he has not deposited, quite possible. So check becomes stale. Understood na? Understood what I am saying? Stale means now it is what? Expired. So it is an adjusting or non-adjusting event. Okay, it is a non-adjusting event because this is not default of management. Now management will reissue a new check, but liability was reduced on 31st March only. Are you getting to? It is a non-adjusting event. The non-adjusting, correct? I think I have done my job. 3 special cases left, and then one more new point is left that we'll do tomorrow. In days 10 will be completed tomorrow. Okay, correct. Means more or less this chapter is completed from concept point of view. I've taken this much examples. Understood? So for today this much only. Thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Enjoy your remaining day.